So then Jeremy Ryan to be followed by Benny Ramirez.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to request video. I believe that you were briefed by the city attorney's office on this matter, Mayor. So I'd like to request video for disability rights accommodation for people who are hard of hearing, so they can remember.
Anyone who requires a disability accommodation can call the council office and arrange that in advance. Our policy remains that we do not have video for registrants.
Well, City Attorney Haas has said that the committee...
I have spoken with City Attorney Haas, and this is his advice.
Oh, so you're still going to play that? You don't care about people with disabilities? Because someone could come later and watch this stream and they wouldn't...
Mr. Ryan, anybody who wishes to request an accommodation may do so through the council office. Did you wish to testify on the budget?
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of horrible that you shit on disabled folks. But either way, that's your business.
Mr. Ryan, I'll also warn you that this body doesn't allow obscenities during our meetings. So if you persist in using them, your testimony will be over.
Okay, well, if you persist in harming people with disabilities, then I will continue to be on your tail. There, that's without profanities, Your Honor. But as far as the budget goes, I think that I'm glad that you finally, after it was brought to your attention multiple times, decided to go with the will of the people and what they had predominantly said in all the public hearings when you suggested increasing the budget, that you went with that, and now it includes a decrease. But I think we need to go even further, not only decreasing the police, but taking them off the streets. I mean, police don't get there for crimes. We could have community mental health professionals checking in on everyone who has known issues, and we could pay for that with the police money. And we could have the police just investigate the crime, the actual violent crimes that are going on. And that type of model would work much better. We have the ability to be at the forefront of the country on something like this. And I think it's just unfortunate that Madison, which is generally progressive, or at least pretends to be, I think it's unfortunate that we are not trying to be the progressive centerhold that we have been in the past. And we do not have a good police department. We have a police department that, much like the mayor, much like the city, is good at talking themselves up, but actually not doing anything. And so I really do think that we should go further in cutting the police and further in funding social services. And I think that we really need to discuss permanent housing for the homeless, because that's a public health crisis, and I think that should be included in the budget, because we cannot have homeless people out on the streets when this pandemic is only getting worse, and that's probably not going to change anytime soon. You can blame whoever you want. The fact is that it's there, and they need somewhere to use the bathroom. They need somewhere to stay. Otherwise, whether they have symptoms or not, they have to be around other people. They don't have a choice. We can't criminalize breathing, but we need to treat homelessness, especially at this point, as a public health crisis. I mean, we've been talking about this for so many years that clearly this board does not actually view this as a moral issue, and that's fine. Take out the morality. Even if you say screw the homeless, it's still a public health issue. And I think it's just ridiculous that Alder Balde didn't even show up for the hearing to try to kick the homeless out of the park, but expects it to actually go through. And so we need to have permanent housing for the homeless, and I think we should cut the police budget further. And I will yield the floor on this matter and say, hopefully, you respect disability accommodations in the future.
Thank you. Our next registrant is Jeremy Ryan of Odana Road, in support, to be followed by Timothy Jones.
Yeah, I wanted once again reiterate that Jason Bozier, the head of disability rights, I informed you, Mayor, that these videos...
Mr. Ryan, would you like to testify on this item or not?
You know what? I believe that my time is for me to say what I want to say. I believe that's what public hearings are for. I mean,
no, actually, you need to speak to the item before us.
You're really short with everyone. Is it just because they're not taking your side, Satya? Are you just mad that everyone's not taking your side?
Mr. Ryan, would you like to speak to this item or not? Because if you're not going to speak to this item, we'll move on.
I hope that one alder has the balls to actually say something, but I guess not. So you're all complicit. But yeah, I'll speak to the item. You know, how we treat our homeless community is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that we even have to question whether or not to approve something that would help the homeless individuals is also ridiculous. We need, like I said earlier, homelessness is a public health crisis now. Clearly, you guys don't have it in your hearts to actually end the problem, because it would have been done already. Been talking about this for how many years? But from a public health aspect, you have to allow the homeless all the avenues that they have, and we need to add more avenues. But the work that Occupy Madison has been doing has been phenomenal. They've been just great at finding people houses, at building a stable community. Their first project went well, so I don't think there should be any question whether or not we should build this thing. And you know, some of the homeless people are disabled, so you know, maybe they won't be able to hear this. But I really think that we should have their back as a city, and there's no justification for considering anything other than allowing this to go through and hopefully expanding on it. And I'm sorry that you decide to take your personal grievances against me out on the disabled people, Mayor, but this will be changed soon. I will be sure of it, and it will be taken out of your hands. Thank you.
Our next registrant